Homo est Deus is a Latin phrase that translates to man is God. In ancient Greece, pre-Socratic philosophers believed that man was a part of divine nature. To them, man was a microcosm of the macrocosm, sharing the same divine essence as the universe. In the Middle Ages, the concept of Homo est Deus was used by Christian mystics to express the idea that man could attain union with God through prayer and meditation. In the 19th century, German philosopher Ludwig Feuerbach used the concept of Homo est Deus to argue that the idea of God is a projection of human nature. According to Feuerbach, man creates God in his own image and attributes qualities that are truly his own. In the 20th century, the concept of Homo est Deus has been used by various philosophical and religious movements. Some groups, like the Neoplatonists, believe that man is a divine being in potential, capable of reaching divinity through enlightenment. Others, like humanists, believe that man is the only divine being in the universe and is responsible for his own destiny. Greetings to all members of the Apprentice Channel. This is a space dedicated to exploring the mysteries of the world and acquiring diverse knowledge that allows us to achieve inner fulfillment. If you are a seeker of knowledge, we invite you to join our community and be a part of it. Together, we can explore the mysteries of the world and acquire knowledge that helps us grow and develop. Welcome to the Apprentice Channel. Let's continue. The idea of Homo est Deus, or man is God, is not an established philosophical school, but related elements or similar ideas have been explored in various philosophical currents throughout history. Here are some philosophical currents and perspectives that have addressed themes related to the relationship between human beings and divinity. Humanism emphasizes the importance of human dignity and potential. While not asserting that man is God, it advocates for the intrinsic value of humanity and its ability to achieve high levels of intellectual and moral development. Pantheism is a belief that asserts God and the world are identical and that God is present in all things, including human beings. In this context, some pantheists might argue that man is a manifestation of the divine. Existentialism focuses on individual freedom and responsibility. While not necessarily advocating that man is God, it addresses profound questions about existence and human transcendence. Mystical traditions in various religions suggest the possibility of a direct experience of the divine, sometimes interpreted as a union of the individual with divinity, a form of man being God, in terms of experiencing the divine presence immanently. In Neoplatonism, a hierarchy of levels of reality or existence is presented, often expressed in the doctrine of emanations. In this hierarchy, the one or the supreme good is the source of all that exists. As emanations descend from the one, they become less perfect and more distant from divinity. At the lowest point of this hierarchy is the material world. Regarding the concept of man is God, Neoplatonism does not assert that the human being is God in itself. However, it suggests that humanity has the capacity to ascend spiritually through contemplation and philosophy to more fully unite with the divine. Neoplatonists believed in the possibility of mystical union with the divine, where the individual could experience a kind of reunion with the one or ultimate reality. In some New Age currents, the idea is promoted that each individual has divine potential within and can reach a state of elevated or divine consciousness. Similarly, in some schools of Hindu thought, the idea is promoted that human beings can achieve spiritual realization and a state of unity with the divine through spiritual practices such as yoga and meditation. This does not necessarily imply that man is God, but suggests the possibility of union with the divine. Ramaism and Sahaja Yoga. These are more recent religious traditions that have embraced the idea that human beings have divine potential within and can reach a state of divinity through spiritual practices. Some philosophers have addressed themes related to the relationship between human beings and divinity, or the nature of humanity. Nietzsche explored the idea of the overcoming of humanity and the search for a higher form of existence. While not stating that man is God, his concepts of the will to power and the Übermensch, Superman, have been interpreted in terms of self-realization and human potential. Soren Kierkegaard, an existentialist philosopher, examined the relationship between faith and human individuality. His focus on the importance of individual choice and the relationship with the divine may be relevant to discussions about human nature and transcendence. Baruch Spinoza, a 17th century philosopher, proposed a form of pantheism in his work Ethics. While not asserting that man is God, his philosophy argued that God and nature are one and the same, which has implications for the relationship between human beings and the divine. Jiddu Krishnamurti, an influential spiritual thinker of the 20th century, rejected the notion of an external spiritual teacher or savior and emphasized the idea that true divinity is found within the individual. He promoted self-reflection and self-awareness as means to understand the true divine nature of the human being. Alan Watts, a well-known philosopher and writer, explored topics related to spirituality and the nature of reality. While not explicitly stating that man is God, his writings and lectures often address the idea that the separation between the individual and divinity is an illusion. Paramahansa Yogananda, an Indian yogi and author, promoted the idea that human beings have the ability to achieve union with the divine through spiritual practices, and that divinity resides within each of us. Although Carlos Castaneda is primarily known for his books on shamanism and the teachings of Don Juan Matus, some have interpreted his writings as expressions of the idea that human beings have divine potential that can be reached through spiritual transformation. Ludwig Feuerbach was a 19th century German philosopher whose work had a significant influence on the critique of religion and the relationship between humanity and divinity. While Feuerbach did not explicitly express the statement Homo est Deus, his work is relevant in the context of how humanity relates to divinity. His most well-known work related to this theme is The Essence of Christianity, Das Wesen des Christentums, in German, published in 1841. In this work, Feuerbach argues that the qualities and attributes traditionally attributed to God are, in reality, projections of humanity. He contends that religion is based on the alienation of human beings from their own higher qualities, which have been attributed to an external divine being. Feuerbach asserts that traditional religion is a form of alienation that denies the true nature and capacity of humanity. Feuerbach argues that religion is not so much about God as it is about humanity, and that ultimately God is a creation of the human mind. According to his perspective, the human being is the source of divinity, and religion is a form of inversion of reality, where human qualities are projected onto a divine being. In this sense, although Feuerbach did not explicitly state that man is God, his work sheds light on the relationship between humanity and divinity, highlighting how religion can be a projection of human aspirations and higher qualities onto a divine figure. His critique of religion influenced the theology and philosophy of the 19th century and played a significant role in shaping atheist and humanist thought. Some studies have shown that the human brain has the capacity to generate consciousness, a phenomenon that many consider as a characteristic of divinity. For example, a study published in the journal Nature in 2013 demonstrated that the human brain is capable of generating consciousness even when the body is in a coma. The results of this experiment suggest that consciousness is not simply a product of the physical body. The brain is capable of independently generating consciousness even when the body is in a state of unconsciousness. Consciousness is a phenomenon that is challenging to explain from a scientific standpoint. Science cannot provide a definitive answer to the question of what consciousness is or how it occurs. This has led some people to believe that consciousness is a supernatural phenomenon beyond human understanding. Consciousness is a phenomenon that gives us a sense of purpose and meaning in life. It allows us to experience the world in a unique way and connect with other conscious beings. This has led some people to believe that consciousness is a divine gift that enables us to reach our full potential as human beings. Self-transcendence is a concept that refers to the ability of the human being to overcome their current limits, beliefs, or perspectives and experience a greater sense of self, life, or reality. It involves going beyond the usual self-awareness or self-reflection and achieving a broader understanding or a deeper connection with aspects of existence that may be beyond the scope of the personal or individual. Self-transcendence can manifest in various areas of life, including spirituality, philosophy, creativity, and personal development. People who have had mystical experiences often describe a sense of unity with the divine or with the entire universe. This may involve a form of self-transcendence where the individual feels connected to something greater than themselves. Artists often describe moments of self-transcendence when they are immersed in their creative process. They may feel in tune with a source of inspiration beyond their conscious selves. When facing significant challenges or transformative life situations, people may experience an expansion of their understanding of themselves and what they are capable of achieving. This involves a degree of self-transcendence in overcoming perceived limitations. Philosophy and the exploration of consciousness often involve questioning previous beliefs and perspectives, leading to a greater understanding and self-transcendence. When a person's work endures over time after their death, it can be considered a form of transcendence. The work of an individual, whether in the form of writings, artworks, scientific discoveries, technological advances, or influence on society, can transcend their own life and continue to impact future generations. This form of transcendence is based on the idea that a person's legacy persists far beyond their life, and their influence may remain relevant and inspiring for people in the future. The legacy can convey knowledge, inspiration, values, or perspectives that continue to be appreciated and studied by subsequent generations. In this sense, an individual's work can have a lasting impact on culture, society, and human knowledge, constituting a form of transcendence. The idea that humanity is advancing toward a state where humans can be considered gods is a perspective often discussed in the context of technological and scientific evolution. Although this claim is highly speculative and depends on individual interpretation, some milestones and advances in technological and scientific evolution often cited in this context include: the information and communication revolution has allowed unprecedented global interconnectedness. The creation of the Internet, wireless communication technology, and cloud computing has provided humans with nearly unlimited access to information and the ability to communicate instantly worldwide. Advances in medicine, such as gene therapy, regenerative medicine, and artificial intelligence applied to healthcare, are improving human health and extending life expectancy. Advances in artificial intelligence have led to systems capable of learning and making autonomous decisions, transforming industries like healthcare, manufacturing, and logistics. Space exploration has allowed humanity to reach the moon and send missions to other planets and asteroids, Plans are being developed for crewed missions to Mars and the exploration of worlds beyond the solar system. CRISPR-Cas9 technology and other gene editing techniques have opened the door to the modification of human DNA, with significant implications for biotechnology and genetic evolution. CRISPR-Cas9 has the potential to treat and cure hereditary genetic diseases. Researchers can correct genetic mutations responsible for diseases such as cystic fibrosis, sickle cell anemia, and Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It is used in crop improvement by creating varieties that are more resistant to diseases, with higher yields, and adapted to climate change. CRISPR-Cas9 is an essential tool in genetic research and molecular biology, allowing the study of the role of specific genes in biological processes and diseases. Gene editing is being used to develop gene therapies that can treat diseases by correcting defective genes. CRISPR-Cas9 technology raises ethical issues and challenges, including editing human embryos. Germline editing raises ethical questions about modifying hereditary traits. Genetic edits may have unintended or unexpected side effects, raising concerns about safety. There is a risk that advanced gene therapies will be available only to those who can afford them, raising issues of equity. Regulation is needed to address ethical issues and ensure the responsible use of CRISPR-Cas9. It's important to remember that while these technological advances are significant, we are still far from achieving the status of gods in a traditional sense. Technology and science have the potential to improve human life and address complex challenges, but they also raise ethical and social questions that must be considered. The notion of becoming gods is highly speculative and largely depends on individual interpretation and beliefs. The belief that man is God or that humans have divine potential raises important ethical and responsibilities. Those who embrace this belief may feel a responsibility to self-realize and reach their divine potential. This may involve a commitment to personal growth, self-reflection, and the pursuit of wisdom and transcendence. The belief in the intrinsic divinity of the human being is often associated with a personal ethics that encourages kindness, compassion, and respect for oneself and others. Those who embrace this belief may consider the practice of kindness and ethics as fundamental to their spiritual development. Those who hold this belief may feel a responsibility to contribute to the well-being of society and the world at large. This can lead to an active commitment to promoting humanitarian values and seeking solutions to social and global problems. While this belief may be deeply personal, it's important for those who follow it to respect the diversity of beliefs and viewpoints in society. Tolerance and respect for different perspectives are essential for peaceful coexistence. The belief in the intrinsic divinity of the human being can lead to a strong sense of self-esteem, but it's important to balance it with a realistic and humble assessment of one's capabilities and limitations. Humility is essential in spiritual growth. When relating to advances in gene editing and biotechnology, those who embrace this belief may face significant ethical challenges. They must carefully consider how to apply these advances responsibly and ethically, avoiding falling into megalomania or irresponsibility. It's important to remember that personal and spiritual beliefs are subjective and vary from person to person. The ethics and responsibility associated with these beliefs can also vary depending on individual interpretation and application. In general, responsibility and ethics should guide those who follow this belief toward a life that promotes personal and social well-being, as well as respect and consideration for others. If you enjoyed this content, we ask for your help in sharing the light of this knowledge by subscribing to our channel, giving a like, and sharing this video with your friends and family. Your support is crucial to us and motivates us to continue sharing valuable information with you. We invite you to participate in the comments section. We would love to hear your ideas, questions, and suggestions for future topics you would like to see on our channel. Thank you again for your support, and remember, your like is our salary. A fraternal hug, and see you in the next video.